You can spend a lot of money in Avenir very quickly. And honestly, some buyers should. Some people want the largest homes, the most custom finishes, the most exclusive streets possible. But for a huge number of buyers moving here, that's actually not what creates the best experience living in Avenir. And that's exactly why Watermark has become one of the most interesting communities in this entire development, because it sits in this sweet spot that a lot of people don't fully appreciate until they've already toured everything else. So if you're considering Avenir, let's talk about why Watermark quietly makes a lot of sense for a lot of buyers. The first thing you notice about Watermark is balance. It feels new, clean, upscale, functional, but it doesn't feel excessive. And that matters because there's a difference between luxury that photographs well and luxury that actually works for your life every day. Watermark leans heavily into that second category. You're getting modern layouts, open living spaces, strong indoor-outdoor flow, good-sized homes, and a community feel that works really well for full-time living. This is not the section people typically tour just to be impressed for 20 minutes. This is the section where people walk through and start picturing their actual life here, and that's a very different thing. Watermark works especially well for buyers who want luxury without feeling overextended, space without unnecessary excess, a new home without going to the absolute top of the market. And honestly, that's a much larger group of people than most buyers initially realize. Because what happens a lot in Avenir is this. People come in thinking they want the biggest possible home. Then they start touring. Then reality starts kicking in. They realize they don't need 7,000 square feet. They don't need rooms they'll never use. They don't necessarily want the maintenance that comes with maximizing everything. What they actually want is a home that feels elevated, comfortable, easy, and livable. And Watermark nails that. Quick question for you. Would you rather have the absolute biggest house you can afford or the house that actually fits your day-to-day lifestyle best? Because those are not always the same thing. One of the things I think Watermark gets right is consistency. The home feels cohesive. The streets feel intentional. And the overall energy of the community feels very approachable while still upscale. That's a difficult balance to pull off. Sometimes luxury communities can feel too formal, too oversized, almost disconnected from real life. Watermark doesn't really have that issue. It feels comfortable. And for relocating buyers especially, that's huge. Because when you're moving from another state, you're not just buying a property, you're rebuilding your routines. You're rebuilding your mornings, your weekends, your social life, your family rhythm. And communities that feel easy to settle into usually outperform long-term in ways people don't fully appreciate at first. Now layer Watermark into the bigger picture of Avenir itself. Avenir is still growing rapidly. You've got town center development coming, restaurants and retail, medical offices, a hospital, additional infrastructure still being built. So when you buy in a community like Watermark, you're not just buying the house, you're buying into where this area is headed. And Watermark gives buyers a really strong way to enter that ecosystem without feeling like they have to overcommit financially just to be here. That's important because some buyers stretch too far trying to maximize their purchase when they would have been happier in a community like this the entire time. If you were moving to Avenir, what would matter most to you? The biggest home possible or the best overall lifestyle fit? I'm curious what people prioritize differently. I think the real reason Watermark works so well is because it feels sustainable. Not financially in a negative way, I mean emotionally and practically. It feels like a place where people can actually settle in long-term and enjoy their life. You're getting the newer construction people want, the Palm Beach Gardens lifestyle people are moving for, the amenities and growth of Avenir without everything feeling oversized or overcomplicated. And for a lot of buyers, that balance ends up being exactly what they were searching for all along. If you're trying to figure out which section of Avenir actually fits your lifestyle, reach out to me directly because every community inside Avenir feels different once you really understand it. And if you want more honest breakdowns of each section, the builders, the lifestyle, and what actually matters before buying here, make sure you're subscribed because I'm going through all of them in detail.